All right. Why is it that Black people still operate with an oppressed mindset when it comes to health and spirituality and religion and all those pieces? We seek the answers to everything from people who do not look like us. We look at the election and say, this person said this, so it must be true, without activating the spiritual part of ourselves and knowing what's true on the inside. We say, if this doctor says it's true, then it must be so. But if this doctor says it's true, we got to question it. If this spiritual advisor says this is true, we got to question it. We have been so into what the oppressors have said and have taught us, and so many of us have not come out of it. As women, we are the most educated in the United States, and yet and still we will subjugate ourselves to the opinion of others who know less than our sisters and brothers. When I speak about healing from a spiritual standpoint, most people think I'm just going to be like, oh, Reiki's the only answer, which isn't so. Yes, I'm a Reiki practitioner, but I'm a effing scientist, 32 and a half and 3/4, almost 33 years in healthcare, in hospital settings. I know about the body and I understand how energy works, but I also understand there's physical things that we have to do. But as a person who has worked in this industry for nearly 33 years, I also see that we, not them, are casualties in the healthcare system because our body and our lives require something different. And most of us intuitively know. You have no idea how many times I have somebody come to me that says, you know what? I thought that something was wrong. I thought they were doing this to me. And I'm like, but you let it happen. You didn't speak up for yourself. You didn't say, hey, what's going on? You just allowed it to happen. So now you're worse off because your body cannot handle the same things that that other person's body can handle. And additionally, your spiritual self was warning you that something was being done to you that should not have been done to you. And yet we separate those. Oh, they must know. They're here to help me, to save me. No, not so. Not everyone is there to help and save you. There are people who actually see you and see you as an opportunity to do harm to you. And there are some people who just don't have the knowledge to assist you, right? But we are magnificent beings and we have innate knowledge about healing. We for thousands of years, we have been connected to the earth and the healing and what works. And some of us have grown up with it in this life. And we separate that so much and then end up in situations where we have to speak on the number of Black women who suffer when they go to give birth. And I ask, well, who did they go to? Did they seek out Black healthcare providers? Did they seek out Black midwives? Did they seek out Black OBGYNs? Did they seek out Black advisors, health advisors and health coaches when they're doing different things? No. No, they didn't. And oftentimes we see problems, right? Because we are so unique and we want to be like everyone else that we don't even realize how unique we are, that we have to operate on a spiritual and physical level at all times, in addition to within our physical, like our health with problems, but in our life when it comes to our career, our relationships with people. We have a duality within us that has to be acknowledged. And we're so used to squashing it and being like, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. So and so knows more than me. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. They don't know more than you. They don't have the answers. You have the answer. We have the answer. Okay? We need to stop downgrading ourselves and what we innately know to be true. Now, I say all this. Are there people out there like us who try to get over on people? Yes. But the majority are not trying to get over on us. They're trying to help us. They're trying to tell us, hey, you can't eat the same foods. I'm going to tell you, I had a doctor tell me this years ago before I had finished my dissertation, my PhD and everything. And I was in healthcare. And I went to this doctor because I was overweight and this is before I knew about having lupus and all this other kind of stuff. But I was like, oh, I'm going to go to this doctor and she's going to prescribe these pills and I'm going to lose this weight. And I went to the first doctor's appointment and she was not one of us. She was an Asian woman. And several people that I know, because you had to go, you could only get to her by referral. She did not take walk-ins and you had to pay in cash. That's why with my prices, with my practice, that's why I tell people, no, you got to pay me in cash because I know what people are willing to pay for because I've paid for some things and some of it didn't work. So I went to her and I'm at the appointment and she gave me her book of foods and stuff. And first thing she does is she looks at my face and she starts feeling on it and stuff. And she says, black people can't eat what white people eat. You're killing yourself. And I was like, you're so racist. Oh my God, why would you say that? I'm just floored because I'm like, that's just such a racist thing to say. 20 years later, I know she was right. We are not made the same, and we just want to be the same so much and so badly that we do things to ourselves. And she's right. We are not meant to eat the same foods. We have different reactions, right? If you go in the jungle, they don't all eat the same foods. They don't. And that's because their bodies need different things. They don't all live in the same spaces. Some live underground, some live above ground, some live in caves. There's reasons for that. And just because you're part of a group does not mean that the same thing is going to work for each person. And we have to really walk in our uniqueness. And this is why when I work with my clients, I say there's a spiritual component to you and there's a physical component to you. And we cannot get to the root of what healing needs to occur without addressing the spiritual aspect of yourself. All right. Another thing I saw with autoimmune disorders and pointing out that women have the highest level of autoimmune disorders. And a lot of that is linked to a mental attack on the body because of all the things that we put on ourselves and those physical things that we put on ourselves, taking on everybody else's burden, which black women have been doing forever now, right? Carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder. And now you have all these physical manifestations. When I started dropping the load of some people in my life, I started not having the physical pain that was manifesting itself through lupus. Now, this is why when I work with people who are trying to get jobs and things, I would say, hey, you got to remove the blockages. You got to, we separate things because, see, if you don't have a job, you're going to put stress on yourself, which is going to cause another physical ailment to develop. We think health care is just about treating that thing, but health care is your entire environment because you're a spiritual being. So everything around you impacts your health. Right? Physically, mentally, spiritually. It has to be all three. It can't be one. And it's time for us to deconstruct our concepts of health care and where we fit as Black women, Black men in society. And I can only speak to us because I can speak to us from a standpoint of experience, right? So, long rant's over. Get back to trusting who we are.